this is an absolute scam and people have no idea what they're being sold and lying to consumers. Yikes. Let's talk about what led to that moment. This started off as an investigation into the quality of training for social media marketing, and particularly Facebook and Instagram ads from a company. I was seeing a lot of ads from digital entrepreneurs encouraging people to become digital entrepreneurs, and I thought, okay, I'm kind of curious what they're teaching. This led me to Webinar, a web show. At first, I'm going to admit, I thought this was an MLM, but I'm not anti-MLM. In fact, I purchased from Arbonne, doTERRA, and others. I'm pro-transparency and pro-honesty, and I think MLMs actually provide a really cool business opportunity for select groups of people. It smelled like an MLM, and I thought, okay, what they're doing is they're probably selling you like digital marketing trainings and downloads, online trainings, and then you create that system and you encourage other people to learn it as well. Cool. Awesome. I love it. I like it when it's up front. But this turned into deceptive practices. At the time of recording, something I'm looking into, that if this is actually an illegal MLM operating in Canada. I can't say that it's illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure it's illegal, and we'll get to that in a bit. I'm super motivated by this, though, because this is my industry. This is what I do for a living, and this is what I practice. So I was curious, and I'm like, I'm going to look into this. So here's the origin story. Here's what happened. I, as a digital marketing consultant, see ads related to digital marketers and digital marketing. So I've been seeing these ads, and they all look and sound pretty much the same. They're customized, but they all look and sound the same. People encouraging you to become a digital entrepreneur, learn a business system that relies on Facebook and Instagram ads to grow a business however you want to. Again, no inventory, no selling, no recruiting, which MLMs are notorious for saying what they're not, which is not even normal in business. But, so I see those, and eventually I become curious enough. So I actually messaged some people that I was seeing do it. Whenever I saw them do this, over the span of like a month, and I was asking them, like, what do you sell? Like, what do you do? How does this work? And a couple of them referenced like this big Facebook group, and I'm like, I would love to see a big Facebook group where people are learning about ads. Like, sign me up. And they all said the exact same thing.
You have to attend the webinar.
Okay. No one was giving me any answers, so I thought, I'm going to attend this webinar. So I go to sign up, and I am told that there would be no cost for this. It was risk-free, it was super enjoyable, and that you would learn a business system for becoming a digital entrepreneur. I ended up being sold Samcart, Enagic, and Livestorm events, which we're going to get into. I was recruited, I was taught to recruit, I was asked for over $10,000, and asked to participate in a potentially illegal MLM here in Canada. So I sign up for this webinar. And first things first, the number of emails from them is bananas. I had registered for the webinar, which was to be 2 hours later, and within the span of 2 hours, I received 7 emails about the webinar and attending the webinar, which was nuts. Only notable thing is it wasn't clear who was hosting the webinar and who was hosting this event, but on all of the emails it said powered by Livestorm Events. Important detail for later. I attended this webinar, and it was, in 2 words, toxic positivity, which we see kind of in the multi-level marketing space, where people are just all smiles, everything is amazing. It was all positivity, it was all about selling from your phone, how easy it was. The only thing stopping you was getting over fear, getting over doubt. Presenters talked about how anyone could do this, and again, all you had to do was overcome fear. Here's the first thing you need to know about the webinar. Every 15 minutes, there was a prompt on the screen that said, hey, you should become a member. You should take the leap, pay the $149, the one-time fee, to join. At first, I didn't take it. I wanted to watch the webinar. In this webinar, I could immediately detect deceptive practices. 1, this is not an MLM because you do not recruit and you do not keep inventory, which, MLMs are notorious for saying we are not. And that's what they said. They said we are not an MLM because you do not recruit, you do not keep inventory, you don't even sell. They also said keeping inventory is not good for business, and who has that money? Like, step aside, Jeff Bezos. They also claimed that social media was the largest marketing engine in the world and that anybody could leverage it. Which, as a digital marketing consultant, I know that's not true. SEO, Google is arguably far bigger because people are searching for things, and even word of mouth marketing. Something else they said that I was terrified. They said, you don't even have to know how it works, it's done for you. What? If you actually run a business, like, you are responsible for knowing how your business runs and how it works. There shouldn't be parts that are out of your control. They also said you can totally choose what you sell. And one thing that they were actually trying to promote was the sale of affiliate links, saying, hey, if you provide these links, you sign up with these people, which will give you the list, you sign up with them, send those links to your friends, anytime they make a purchase, you make money. Cool, okay. But we're going to see in a little bit that they weren't really directing you towards affiliate links. They also started in the presentation by talking about how their compensation plan was so revolutionary, how you were going to make passive revenue was so novel that it was patented, and they would only show you if you paid the $149 to get the access. This is where I became both curious and scared. They also talked about how much time and energy you would have to invest in businesses. And they had speakers saying, I do this for 1 hour, I do this for 2 hours. Some days I choose 14 hours. But they also said that your results could be tied to the amount of time. Where have we heard that before? Finally, they were saying $149 one-time fee is absolutely risk-free, and you can get it back as long as you don't take the coaching call. As long as you don't take the coaching call. At this point, I'm gonna be honest, friends. I was hella curious. I had to know. I paid the $149. And paying the $149 got me access to what I needed to discover. This is an MLM. Now, at this point, let's remember, the entry point for this was Samcart and was a webinar. So how is this an MLM? This leads us to a web of confusion and lies, all sold under the guise of offering social media training. In fact, it took pages of notes. I took pages of notes through the webinar and through my research, and finally put together this web. This web that explains the relationships between different companies, people, and organizations' needs and wants that explain how this whole thing works together. It's one big ugly mess. Let's tear it apart. So I pay the $149 and I get login credentials for a mini training. It's a few different modules where they talk about like success cases, questions, next steps, and my eye immediately went to the compensation plan. So imagine my confusion when enter stage left and Enagic is here. All of the presentation materials are branded under Enagic. And today, up until this point, everything had just been branded as like a live webinar under, especially the person who I guess I signed up with. So I was really confused. I'm like, why am I seeing Enagic? Like, what is this? Enagic sells water systems through multi-level marketing. So I have to be honest. I only watched the section on the compensation plan. But in the compensation plan, I was told to sell, to recruit, to build, and to make sure I booked my coaching call with my coach to talk about how to do all of this. I was told all the ways that I could get compensated, and there were a lot. From sales calls, presentation, direct sales, recruiting, making sure recruits were selling, coaching calls, and that all of this could be automated, which is an important detail for later. Imagine my horror when I'm told, sell one unit. If you sell one unit, there's $2,700 up for grabs in commission. As someone who knows marketing and sales, if there's $2,700 available in commission, I want to know the price tag on the item. Turns out, this water system sells for 3,660 euros. What is that even in Canadian? Probably around like $6,000? Yikes! With these systems, they're talking about you need to sell 1, then 10, then 30, then 50. And at 50, you start to move into the upper rank. I'm looking through the compensation plan, I'm watching this, and then the email comes in from my coach. Her first call to action on the email, book that coaching call. I go back and I watch the compensation video, which tells me that if you recruit through a system and you have a coaching call, you get paid $50 out of the $149 that the person paid. So she's trying to make her money on her coaching call. But she also wanted to add me as a personal friend on Facebook and gave me her personal link. And she said, once you add me as a friend, then I will invite you into the group of over 90,000 people. Her personal account was all this business, was all about this marketing. And she never mentioned Enagic. She never mentioned Samcart or anything. It was all about business and buying into the system where you can automate everything and make passive revenue. That was a red flag. I also found that she had a Facebook business page and she had an Instagram, but her Instagram was set to private. That's not good in business. Her Facebook business page was a direct reflection of her personal profile. All she's doing on social media is living and breathing and talking about how amazing this opportunity is to sell and how the whole thing can be automated. At this point, I pretty much had all the information I needed. So through her emails, I just started asking really for any other supplemental information that I wanted. So first thing I asked her, I said, hey, before I get in on this, can I know what your rank level is? And she told me everything. She was 6A, so she was one of the getting up into the top ranks for one system. She was high rank on another. She had some other low ranks. She had some other recruits, and she said, "I'm getting $3,000 in compensation here, $6,000 bonus there, $2,000 here, $50 here, $100 there," and she told me everything. She started the email and she ended the email with, please book this coaching call. With the coaching call, I'll be able to walk you through the exact tools, the exact system, and the next steps in how to do it. And I'm going to hold your hand through the whole thing. What does this sound like? There was some confusion because I was also leading questions. So I said, if I sell products through Samcart, what kind of commission do I get? Do I get 100% of the sales? And she said,
I'm not totally familiar with what Samcart was.
But the mentor was. On the email, I was also looped in with a mentor. So you get a coach and a mentor. The mentor was familiar with Samcart, but also wasn't using it. This is what led back to the giant web of confusion. This one. And after looking at people's one-page websites that was encouraging the webinars, it finally all clicked. Samcart started the process by selling landing pages. But you don't have to use Samcart. You can use any website platform where you create one page to offer one thing, which is a webinar. Samcart will provide coding, though, for these one-page templates. But we also know the founders of Samcart are deeply connected to others because the founders of Samcart are on these webinar calls saying,
Like, you need to automate your systems and automate your processes.
But landing pages can be a hard sell, even in the digital marketing world. Enter Livestorm Events, the webinar host. Livestorm Events offers quite an attractive, I will say, affiliate compensation program. So if you have an affiliate link and you can get someone to use Livestorm Events, you can make money off of it, which is what Samcart was trying to offer as well, and through their landing pages. But please note, this comes after the Enagic pitch. Livestorm Events will also offer, and through Enagic and through others, you can make money based on event attendance. And then finally, we have Enagic, the multi-level marketing company where you can make passive revenue. This led us to our web of confusion. All starting with Facebook and Instagram ads saying, hey, you can be a digital entrepreneur. You can learn Facebook and Instagram ads. But here we have a web of companies working together to bring you in really on a multi-level marketing company and to consume other services. This is what upsets me. So let me be specific in what upsets me about this whole thing. One, the layers of promise. It took 3 layers to figure out what exactly was going on. First layer is being promised a digital entrepreneurship and training on social media ads. Second layer was automating the sale of any kind of product, any kind of service, digital or in real life. And then the third level was multi-level marketing through Enagic to sell water systems. Next that really bugged me was this system that was actually business basics. They talked about 3 pillars: offering a product that people want, finding people to sell it to, and actually selling it to them. They coined that as their own revolutionary system. As someone who teaches business and marketing fundamentals, I know that is not a system. That's basic business knowledge. But we have to remember, these folks are mainly targeting people who have no business experience and want to create passive revenue so that they have something outside of their current earnings, which is something we talked about on that first webinar. Also then really frustrated because this was an MLM. The deception of saying, you, person, will never have to recruit or have inventory, because the logic to them was that the system recruits, the system has inventory. But they also do this in a way that creates dependency on them. You're told basic business education that everyone has access to is a system that you have to buy into. You're told, you shouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars or hours learning this, but then you're encouraged to spend thousands of dollars learning this, and also told that your success is tied to the amount of time you spend. You're offered something that you're not even told where to look for, which is those affiliate links. You're told you can sell a product, but you have to come up with a product. And who's going to think to come up with a product? They're appealing to people who want to join something that grows. And then you have to learn ads from them, and it's very regimented learning. I will give them this. They are teaching en masse Facebook and Instagram ads, which can be difficult to learn, which involves like step-by-step modules that you implement. And I love that. And I've always said when teaching Facebook and Instagram ads, this is something you have to do. You can't just watch someone else doing it. And they're also introducing you to the world of social media marketing. Overall, this was a scam. Sam Carr, Enagic, and Livestorms are putting together a scam and misrepresenting information to people. They're saying, this could be free, and there's no risk to this, other than the risk of the $149, with a tiny asterisk as long as you don't book a coaching call. But everyone is always telling you, book that coaching call, book that coaching call. You get funneled into a coaching call very, very quickly, where the coach is trying to actually get you on that coaching call within 24 hours, which is mind-boggling. Where is it totally not legal? Well, Enagic currently does not have income disclosure statements for Canada. And at the time of recording, when I reached out to the coach and asked, can I please see the income disclosure statements for the companies that you've just told me how much money you make, she's still not provided them. This is illegal. This goes against everything in the Competition Act and according to the Competition Bureau here in Canada. Was totally misrepresented, and they're trying to sell you Sam Cart landing pages, which are $49 a month, with add-ons. They're trying to sell you a Livestorm events account and affiliate links, and they're trying to sell you Enagic machines and technology, and trying to get you to sell that as well. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on this, and please, just if you run into this as well, remember, ask the questions. Ask for the income disclosure statement. Ask about the actual process. I wish someone had said, and I did try to ask, and everyone just said attend the webinar. But I wish they would have said, you're going to attend a webinar. You're going to be offered this possibility for $149. You're going to get a coaching call, and then we're going to explore different things that you can sell to make a passive revenue. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been scammed through social media? We don't have to name names because we don't totally want to get into name shaming. Again, I'm not anti-MLM. I love MLMs, and they tend to actually offer superior and quality products. I'm anti-deceptive practices. I'm anti-dishonesty. I'm pro-transparency, pro-honesty. Let me know in the comments where you're at with social media scams or experiences like this. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for all things, apparently, digital marketing and consulting. Thanks, friends. We'll chat soon. Bye for now.